Hello, good people, and welcome back to Econ. In this particular lesson for Unit 3, I believe it is Lesson 4. Bingo, yes, filing taxes. In this particular lesson, we're going to talk about, you guessed it, how to file your taxes and what the heck that even means. Okay, so let's get into it. So first and foremost, what does it even mean to file taxes? So we've been discussing a lot of different forms. We've discussed W-2s, W-4s, 1099s, 1040s, and what the heck all those mean. So here's the thing. Filing taxes, you literally fill out a form in whatever way you want to. You can file a paper form. Not a smart decision. Do it online, but I mean, you do you. You fill out a form of how much you have paid over a year's time, and you report it to the government. Pretty much, you are submitting it for review. And if they say, yes, you're correct, that's how much you owed, just kidding, we owe you money back because you overpaid, or just kidding, you owe us money because you ain't pay enough. I have yet to meet a person walking around in their life who has paid the exact amount of taxes they're supposed to pay. Not in area one. Okay, so you fill out a form. You tell them how much that you've paid over a year's time. It's going to show you filing taxes if you have overpaid or if you have underpaid. Okay, so here's the thing. You have to remember, a refund means you get your change back from overpaying. A refund is not new money. It is not money that you have earned. It is literally your money that the government has already snatched from you during the year. $30 this month, $45 this month, yada, 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 and stack it all up times 12 because it goes from, hold on, let me back up just a second. I'm getting ahead of myself. From day one of that year, let's say, for example, we're talking about the year 2020, your taxes, okay, you're going to get a form from your employer that says how much you have paid in taxes from January the 1st till December the 31st. And if you paid too much, the government has to give you your change back. So basically, you gave them 100, but it was only 75 bucks. They got to give you 25 back, okay? Times like however much it is, okay? Or owing taxes. You didn't pay enough during the months from January 1 to December 31, and you have to pay back what you owe. Pay me what you want me, okay? Just saying. I made that mean myself. Recognize. Okay, does everybody have to file? Well, it depends, okay? Here's the thing. If you are under 18, or you're 18, and you are working part-time, people, you are not what's called liable for taxes, okay? You don't have to pay taxes if you make under a certain amount of money. We'll get into that in a later slide. Okay, here's the thing. It's also about your status. Are you a dependent or are you a person who is filing the taxes? If you're like, I don't even know, ask the person who you live with. Okay, whoever you stay with, go to them and be like, hey, do you claim me as a dependent on your taxes? And they need to be real with you. Because if they are counting, let's say that there's 3 children in the house, including you, and you're not quite 17 yet. That individual, whoever is the adult in your house, can claim you as a quote dependent. And remember from my previous lessons, you can get $2,000 off of your taxes, off your taxable income, okay, and bring you down a bracket, maybe, if you have dependents. Okay, so your status depends on that. Also, your life situation. Are you the sole earner of the income? Are you a widow or a widower? Okay, so does everybody have to file? No. The answer is no, but it depends on your life situation. Now, if you're out here 35 years old, you got a full-time job, and you got 3 kids, yes, file your blasted taxes. You're going to jail, okay? Just saying. Things to consider. Are you a dependent? Do you make less than $6,300 a year? If the answer to both of these is yes, you don't have to pay federal or state taxes. Yes, I'm clapping multiple times because it's very important, okay? A lot of y'all out here who are working part-time jobs are getting absolutely snatched by the United States and the North Carolina government. You are 100% getting steamrolled, okay? So if you are a person who pays, let's say you get your pay stub back, okay, and you see that your employer has taken out federal, state, and FICA taxes, you better go get your money back. You better go run right now, okay, and talk to the person who is in your house and be like, hey, am I claimed as a dependent? If the answer is yes, and you make on average in a year less than this amount, okay, less than $6,300, you are entitled to a full refund of every single dollar and every single cent that you have paid to the United States and to the North Carolina government. I'm going to say it again, louder for the people in the back. Every single dollar and cent should come back to you in a refund. If you're like, Miss Hurst, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. Well, one of two things. You can either just let them go ahead and take it out, file your taxes at the end of the year. If you're like, I don't know how to do that, I'll help you with that too. Okay, bring me your stuff and I will assist you. All right, you can either file it at the end of the year and get you a refund, or you can go and ask for another W-4 form, W-4 like the number, okay? You ask for another W-4 form and you put on line 4A that you are exempt from tax withholdings. You are exempt. You don't have to have it withheld from your taxes. The only things that you have to pay are Social Security and Medicare, because you're going to need it when you get old, regardless of how old you are now. Okay? Just saying. I know that was my soapbox. Now I'll get off of it. All right. How do you file taxes? Okay. Again, it depends on your life situation on how you file taxes. This is literally me. I'm like, yeah, it's going to be great. And then by the time April 15th gets there, I look like an old man. Okay? Except I file my taxes early because I don't fool around with that last minute junk. It stresses me out. All right, so employees. Again, the forms you need. We already know this. This should be reviewed for you. Okay? 1040s are for people who are self-employed. W-2s are for typical employees, and they're used. Yes, they use these to determine how much to pay or receive. Remember, a W-2 is what you receive when your employer at the end of the year is like, or usually in January. So it takes them about a month to process through, and usually about January the, I'd say 12th to 15th, you get a W-2 in the mail, all right, or you get it handed to you at work. It just depends on, how you live your life. And then that determines how much you have to either pay or receive back from the government. And remember, a W-4 is what you fill out to tell the government how much to either take out or leave in. And then a W-9, Lord, I thought that was a G for a minute, they're used to get your tax PIN if you forget. If you're like, I don't even know what my PIN is for my debit card. First of all, get your life. Second of all, if you do have a specific tax PIN number, this is usually not necessary unless you are like mysteriously a business owner at the age of 16, okay? All right, now contractors, they receive a 1099, and then they receive this for their employer. It's like a W-2 for someone who does contract work. So, for example, someone who is a literal contractor for the military or a contractor for like Lowe's, okay? So some people, when they get out of the military, are no longer affiliated with the United States Army, Marine Corps, Air Force, Coast Guard, Navy. What else am I missing? The Space Force, whatever, okay? Y'all, that is a real thing. The Space Force is a whole branch, okay? We'll talk about that later. All right, so if they're no longer affiliated with the military, but the military is still paying them to do stuff, they're a contractor. Or if you're a contractor for Lowe's, you build things for people. You fix stuff for people. You are the property brothers in somebody's house, okay? You get paid through Lowe's. If you don't work like straight up as Lowe's employee, but they pay you to do stuff for them, that's contract work, okay? Do you need help? The answer is always yes, okay? Everybody needs assistance filing taxes. I have never met a person who does their own taxes who is not a professional tax doer, okay? I have never met somebody who does that. Everybody needs help, okay? So if you're like, yes, I need full-on paid professional assistance, okay? You have some options, all right? You can go to a certified personal accountant or a CPA. My cousin has this job. She is a tax wizard. She's an absolute wizard, okay? Her job is literally to know the tax codes and to help other people navigate through the tax codes. All right, typically the tax codes are anywhere from 500 to 600 pages, sometimes a little longer than that, on how to find people exempt from certain things, how to make sure people pay taxes, yada, yada, yada. You're going to have to pay them some serious cash in order to assist you. Okay, we're talking like $100 for maybe an hour of their time. Okay, now if you are a person who does not have complicated taxes, maybe don't pay a CPA to do this for you. If you don't own a lot of property, don't own a lot of assets, so if you're somebody who rents a house, all you own is your car, and all you have is your student debt and your one job, maybe don't go to a CPA. Okay, maybe go somewhere else. All right, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to need an appointment real soon, preferably January, when you receive that W-2 form or whatever form you receive, your 1099 or your 1040, okay, take that, run to the CPA, get you an appointment. All right, the same thing goes for the bank or the credit union. The State Employees Credit Union in North Carolina will give you a free appointment to help you file your taxes. Okay, it is free. Now, if you wait until after the deadline, you're going to have to pay $75. Okay, but typically speaking, it's free. So check with your bank. If you're like, I don't even know what bank I use, please ask the adult in your household and be like, hey, where do you bank? Do I have an account there? What is it like? Okay, so if you don't have a bank account, I strongly suggest you get one, okay? Take the adult in your house, go get you a bank account. We're trying to do real adult things, okay? All right, so if you're like, nope, I want to do it myself, okay, you can use TurboTax. I do this because I'm lazy and don't want to go to the credit union. All right, it is $40 for both state and federal income tax. I'll ask you a whole bunch of questions and walk you through it. I timed it. It took me, because again, I only own my car and I don't have any student debt on my back. All I have is my one job at present. It took me 18 minutes and 32 seconds to file my taxes last year. Y'all, it is not bad at all, okay? It's not as scary as you think. H&R Block is also a thing. It's also free, but you do need an appointment. So you need to plan ahead. This is not like I'm going to just fly by the seat of my pants and think that I'm going to get an appointment the day before taxes are due. Nope, 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 nope. Okay? All right, so when are they due? Speaking of which, yes, there is a whole deadline. It is April the 5th. Whew, can't read. The 15th every single year. Every single year. All right? Your W-2 and your 1099s and your 1040s get handed back in January. You have literally 16 weeks to get your life together. If you can't get your life together in 16 weeks, consequences are going to come down on you. Okay, so what happens if something isn't right? Okay, if you're late, you have to pay to refile your taxes because the IRS will 100% get every single dime they can out of you. Every single one, okay? So on top of whatever you may or may not owe, let's say that you owe $600 in taxes, it's going to cost you $150 to refile it because you inconvenience somebody at the IRS and they don't like to be inconvenienced, okay? If you're a person who's like, well, there's no real deadlines in life, that is 100% false. If you miss this tax deadline every year, you're going to pay for it every year, which is stupid. Please get yourself together and do not wait until the last second, okay? I have done that in my life and I've had to pay to refile and it freaking sucks, okay? All right, what if something is missing? If you forget to put a specific form in there or you forget like paperwork that you need. Again, you still have to pay to refile, all right? The worst. Both in the paper. What in the world? Please disregard this last part of the thing. Just say late, okay? I have no idea what that means. Oh, I know what that means. Just kidding. So for both in the paper, that means that you are going to get your name put in the paper if you file your taxes late or if something is missing and you have to refile. All right, so the same thing as the jailbirds when people get arrested in the county and you see their mugshot on the internet for all to view, your name will be put in the local paper if you don't do your taxes right. Don't be that person, okay? Please don't. If you're like, well, what if I don't pay? That's called tax evasion, and that could result in jail time, all right? Lauryn Hill, if you know who she is, she used to sing with in sort of rap also with the Fugees. She's also in the Sister Act and is, just like a general rock star. Wesley Snipes, whose real name is not Wesley Snipes, it's Monroe Hutchin. He had to pay his back taxes and went to jail for it for 3 years. Willie Nelson had $8 million that he had to pay. Ja Rule did as well. If you're like, I don't know who that is, just look him up, okay? Martha Stewart, in addition to doing like bad stock practices, she also had to go to jail for that. So here's the deal. Please pay your taxes. Don't end up like that. And that has been Filing Taxes.